So I'm in the classroom, and I'm waiting for my next class of kids to show up. Wait a minute, they're not going to show up. We're doing it online. The corona has gotten in the way of my connection with my young people. But Fishing Historic Places goes on. There's a map, Google Earth style, showing us the Northeast and many of the places that we filmed in the 2020 season, from Long Island Sound, the Eastern Sound, as you can see, up through Western Mass and into the great state of New York. And what we're going to be doing in this episode is taking a look. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to push my little Google Earth button. And we're going to zoom in on Lake George, called Lac Saint-Sacrement at the time. And we're going to be looking at the Battle of Sabbath Day Point, where the British and regiment from New Jersey suffered a nasty setback during the Great French and Indian War. And we're going to be bringing you some fishing historic places from Lake George, from the site of this most sad day for English fortune during this time in history. Battle of Sabbath Day Point, some smallmouth bass coming your way soon. Fishing Historic Places, we're making a foray today up to Lake Saint-Sacrement, as Isaac Jones called it. Now it's called Lake George. And this is the springtime, Officer Beetroot. This is the time of the year when the big Lakers are playing and the smallmouth bass are waiting for a blade bait to dangle in front of their fat little faces. If we could only get Laker Lachapelle here, we'd be able to continue to foray. But we're stopped here in Blandford, Mass, getting ready, all excited, waiting. Just entered Glens Falls. We're in Lake George country right now, and there's a lot of excitement. The road is drying, which is shocking because normally we make this trip in the springtime and we get some rain, don't we, officer?
Yes, we get rain.
And as a result, we are enthusiastic about this trip and our chances for success out here. But at this point, off on our right, we're passing by some major historic sites. The site of the 1757 August Massacre, just off to our right. Bloody Pond, 1755, right over there. We're approaching Fort William Henry. We're in one of the historic meccas of big history here on the northeast coast of the United States. And we're going to be fishing historic places soon. Looking up the first set of narrows at Lake George. Tongue Mountain. In 1755, 56, and 57, a French observation post heading down here to Montcalm Point, named for the Marquis de Montcalm, who observed the British fortress, Fort William Henry, at the southern end of the lake. On the east side of the lake, the towering heights, Black Mountain to Elephant Mountain. Lake George steaming on a beautiful May afternoon. So what we got here is we got deep water. We're using jigging spoons. We're in about 30 feet of water. I'm going to throw this out and I'm going to let it sink to the bottom. You can see I'm letting it down. I know it's on the bottom when the line goes slack. Okay, on the bottom, and now I give it a little bit of a kick, and I'm just popping it off the bottom. Kind of walking it back. I'm not really giving it much of a jig. Oh, there's one I just missed. because my line snaps. I'll have nobody to blame but pop that off. Nice smallmouth bass here. Beautiful. Oh, Dave, nice fish. Nice fish. Laker Lachapelle on. Fight!
Ooh, that was easy. That was easy.
Nice lake trout by Beetroot. Beautiful fish. Boys in the back, they don't have as nice. Let me get a shot of that. Are you gonna let it go or are you gonna just we gotta measure it. Alright. Okay, we're heading down Lake George right now, moving north through the second set of islands in the Narrows by Hewlett's Landing. And we're heading for Sabbath Day Point. You can see that point projecting out. And it was at this spot in July of 1757 that a group of 22 whaleboats and bateaux full of colonial militia with a few British regulars were ambushed by the French army, especially French Indians, from as many as 44 different tribes, going all the way out to the Nipissing and the Ottawa. Here at Sabbath Day Point, a massacre ensued. Okay, Beetroot's on. Here at Sabbath Day Point. He's got it. Oh, don't let him get hooked on nothing. Nice smallmouth on the blade. Beetroot's got the handy pink lipper. Is he going to use it? He's going for the traditional thumb lip. This is a nice smallmouth. Nice belly on this bad boy. Beetroot, look at the size of that hog. Scotty turned, face the camera. Oh yeah, that's a nice pig right there. Laker Lachapelle, feeling a little put out by Beetroot's blade success. Sabbath Day Point, right behind me, is a point coming off the west shore of Lake George, and it's pointing east, and it's a big long point, maybe 400 yards long. Now you can see it's flat land. Beautiful place for, a campsite to be made if you're on an expedition up the lake. And Captain John Parker, coming from down in the southern end of Lake George, way down, about 20 miles from Fort William Henry, leading 22 bateaux and whaleboats full of about 250 colonial militia with a few redcoats to kind of spice the pot, is moving up to investigate whether or not there's a French expedition heading toward the lake. And he intends to camp here. Well, 3 of his bateaux as scouting forces landed and were quickly ambushed by French and Indian warriors. They were captured. They told the French and Indians about the further set of troops coming, who then laid a major ambush. You can imagine coming from the southern end of this lake. 19 bateaux moving up, coming toward us, and when they get to this flat land here in front of me on Sabbath Day Point, they see 3 bateaux pulled up on shore as decoys. The French and Indians have left the bateaux pulled up. They get in close, preparing to land. water depth gets shallow in here, and all of a sudden around the point behind me comes a flotilla of Indian North canoes filled with Indians from 44 nations, as far away as Lake Superior, Nipissing, Ottawa, and they trap the bateaus in this cove. It's described that literally the Indians will be spearing colonial militia like fish in a barrel in the shallows to our north. This is the site of an awful Indian massacre. There you go. Thank you. Hang on. Stay there. All right. Tom Price hooks up. And we're down in the North Basin at Lake George. And you can see down at the end of the lake, the north end of the lake, Rogers Rock and Rogers Slide down there. And that's where Robert Rogers escaped from the Indians after the battle on snowshoes by literally sliding down a 600, 700-foot rock ledge. Now at the north end of the lake, there's a pointed mountain that you can look at just to the left of Rogers Rock. It's called Mount Defiance, and right on the other side of that is Fort Ticonderoga. That was French land. At the time of the 1757 invasion, that was Fort Carillon and New France. Right there, yeah, yep. Beautiful clear water here in Lake George. Hewlett's Landing. Get the boys over here. Simple. We decided to stuff it. A little chorizo, garlic, potatoes, fried up with some croutons. And now we've done this the old-fashioned way. I learned from a friend of mine. Good old Portuguese taught me how to just simply lay it out there. Salt, olive oil, and garlic. And this guy is getting cooked the way that respects the animal. Notice the entire animal is going to be devoured, skin and all. I mean, that skin right there, we're talking about bacon. And right here, the pheasant. It didn't come down for breakfast last November. This was a good time had by all, and we're going to have a nice dinner here at Lake George, under Tongue Mountain. I should say Tongue Mountain with Montcalm Point extending out into the lake. Here at Bolton's Landing, the sun is setting. Another great day of fishing. Historic places.